What's up, guys and girls? John here with Rails, Tails, and Trails. So we're going to talk today about how much you can make coming right out of class. You've already done OJT. What can you expect as far as pay-wise? So we're going to cover that, and here we go. All right, so here we go. We got new hire rate of pay. Now, you guys have just come out of class. You got everything done. You are now a freshly marked up conductor. Well, first and foremost, congratulations on joining the ranks. Now, key thing here, and I hate to burst your bubble, you're not going to be making the huge bucks right off the bat. Who does get to make the huge bucks? The guys that have been here 10, 15, and 20 years. Why? Because they've put in their time with seniority to hold those good jobs. You are the brand new man at the bottom of the totem pole. And guys, by the way, before we go any further, if you like these videos, like what we're doing here, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Share the video. It helps get our videos out there. And, well, I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. There you go. So, guys, we're going to look at something right here. Is everything as a new conductor is based on seniority. What job you can hold, what board you can hold, you know, how often you're going to get bumped around, when you're going to get furloughed. Everything is based off seniority. So your pay is included in that. If you don't work, you don't get paid most of the time. But if you want to make the good money, you got to work. So let's jump into that. I just said most of the time you have to work to get paid, with the exception of something that's called a guarantee board. And those are primarily extra boards. Extra boards are the on-call guys for the railroad. That means you're going to sit on this board until you reach number one on the call-out list, and then you're called, and they will pick some job for you to go do that has a vacancy on it. Or let's say it's a new train that just got spun up and they need a crew for it. You're their guy or gal. So get ready for that, because as a brand new conductor, you're that guy. You don't have the seniority yet to hold that local road switch or yard job that has Saturday and Sundays off. You don't have the seniority to hold that one direction pull turn that pays really, really well. Why? Because it's held by the guys with 15, 20 years and sometimes even more. You know, there's a board at my terminal that, you know, if you got 20 years, you have a good chance of holding it, but that's not always guaranteed. And that's the way it is. You got to pay your dues. I'm paying my dues. You know, I'm going in my 5th year, and I'm still on the extra board. I'm still getting bumped around. That's the game. That's not going to change, guys. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about applying to the railroad. I think, you know, I had this old head tell me one time when I first hired out. He said, look, they're going to pay you pretty darn good out here, but it's blood money. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? You're going to be on call. You're going to do the jobs nobody else wants to do, and you're not going to have a set schedule. He was right. He was really, really right in a whole lot of aspects. And I appreciate his advice. It helped prepare me for life out here on the railroad. So we're going to jump over here and take a look at some things that some of these carriers, CSX, NS, and BNSF, put out on their job postings, and go over some of those numbers. Because, like I said, everything that you get pay-wise, for the most part, is going to be what you work. So here we go. So we got over here BNSF on this application right here. You know, it tells you the entry rate of pay. This is for McCook, Nebraska, with an average annual salary of $70,000 to $82,000. Now, that is not incorrect. You can make that. And as you gain more seniority and you stay hooked up more and you're having to be bumped less, you can make a lot more than that. But it's also highly dependent on terminal, what kind of jobs, how long the runs are, things like that. Don't get too involved in trying to figure that out, because you will figure that out as you go after you get out of class. And that's just part of the learning curve. But that's a pretty good average, I would say, most folks can think on, or kind of expect. But it is something that you're not going to hit initially right out of the gate. I think it's important for you guys to understand that. You can get to that, you will get to that, but it takes time, and you have to pay your dues to get in there. So these guys do check and just kind of put some figures out here. CSX over here, projected first year earnings, again, 75,000. They list their average on the job training pay, and the average earning of conductors. And you do have, like I said, a chance to earn more than that, but it takes seniority, it takes staying marked up, and it takes actually going and doing jobs. I've seen a lot of new guys coming out. They get out of training and then they don't want to work. And I heard one kid, complaining, going, "Oh, well, I'm not making any money." Well, how much you been working? Well, I've been laying off. Well, look, if you're laying off all the time, you're not going to make any cash. So you can't complain about it. Now, like I said, the goal is, I mentioned extra boards and guarantees. Well, guarantee basically says if you stay marked up, you'll earn X amount of money for essentially being on call for that day until you get a call. Then you go to the bottom of the board. And if let's say that guarantee number for that board for 2 weeks is 2,000, and you stay marked up and you only worked enough to make, let's say, 800. Well, then that guarantee will fill in that gap to get you up to that 2,000. The goal on being on an extra board or a guarantee board is to earn above the guarantee. That is where you're getting the most bang for your buck, for your time and your effort of staying marked up. So the more you work, the more you make. And that's the end of the goal. That's why a lot of people come out to the railroad, is to make money. So guys, go check out these websites. They got some good information on there. If you do decide to apply to the railroad, ask questions. Ask these questions. How much do we get paid? How does the extra board work? How do the pull turn work? Are we on hourly? Are we on trip rate? These are questions you need to be asking. So guys, I hope that helps break down the differences between the OJT pay and kind of what to briefly expect coming out of class as a brand new conductor as far as pay-wise goes. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.